It is time, my friends, for BBL to face FUT Esports in an elimination game. And my friends, I wanna say happy Mother Day to every mother out there. Go give a hug to your mother, say that you love her. Today I won't be present on the video, okay? I will be spending time with my mother, my family. They are coming here today, so I'm gonna enjoy this moment. And I'm gonna leave you guys with the highlights, okay?
And the stakes couldn't be higher. One team will be exiting their Masters run. Their attempt to get there in jeopardy. Levin, oh, he kept going aggressive and pays the price. FUT with the punish early and a 4v3 as a reward.
Yeah, quick rotation from the side of BBL. Two players already in that site. Caught by the paranoia. Third looking to wrap back around. So the force will be a nice shot, at least from Prophet, to do some damage. Yumpy picking up one as well, but it's twltch to trade. Left all onto Magnum. Cypher versus Cypher. The first clutch needed within this matchup to take that pistol across the board, but there's still time to play with. That's the thing for twltch. He doesn't need to overface this, doesn't need to risk it, but the same can be said for his counterpart.
There's plenty of time, but that camera gave the information over to twltch. He knows that Magnum is towards the spawn, but Magnum waits long enough that he could have ramped up into heaven. twltch has a decision to make, and not a lot of time to make it. Magnum swinging in deep.
Him with this sort of composition.
Spam's not landing yet. They're
gone everywhere else.
Dangerously close, yeah. Either side of him. Straight out of Pulp Fiction. Round to the C side. It looks like they're going to go. Levin's waiting there. Op in hand. B side wide open. Late play from Mr. Fallen. Of course, using that weaker weapon, he's going to hope to find himself that late lurk, that player getting aggressive. For now, nothing to be claimed by him, but his team have gotten the plant.
Waiting to see if anybody makes a mistake. Ultimate for Magnum. Single kill could be enough to reveal the rest, but clearly feeling confident in their retake. Mr. Fallen's lurk has been eliminated. It now just becomes down to the defenders on the side. Solid stun. In fact, they wipe them out, leaving just out a captain standing, and try as he might, he cannot hold off the flood of BBL. Eating up. They've got nothing. Sure, there's a Bucky, but it's not in Mr. Fallen's hands, so I'm not particularly nervous for the opposing squad. Cracks going in. No, he doesn't have it yet, but he gets his ult online from diving in with the classic. I don't know how this is working. The headhunter from Zeus has managed to pick off another. And from literally nothing, there's now just one man standing, Yumpy, between a crazy upset round for FUT.
Starts with that op falling. The shot fired out, and FUT knew that they had an opportunity. Now here's the same old play. We just talked about it. Send that man out and around. The late play while they're looking in one direction, come in from the other. Classic. Mr. Fallen, he doesn't want the fight with the classic. He's got himself a Bucky, and he might be needed. Yumpy pushing down has already isolated one pick, but they're going to run that clock all the way down, knowing that he's going to be pressured from both sides. A die for utility there as well. It's a big gamble in the late round, and most likely we're going to be looking at a post plant. The question is, though, are FUT going to be happy with just that little bit of control, especially with the player coming back on mid? Probably someone goes aggressive. There'll be an opportunity for a pick, and if not, as you've highlighted, Rolling Thunder's online for the retake.
Yeah, they're just playing this one as safe as humanly possible. No need to overface, no need to take risks, especially when multiple ultimates have faded from this round for the opponent. They're not going to mind too much throwing in a couple of their own if it's necessary. For FUT, as of right now, they are kind of boxed in. They haven't managed to get any sort of aggressive positioning, and the rest will just be able to set up for that execution onto the side.
Nice reposition of the trap. They're worried about a flank. They only saw two players with the drone, but now they don't need to worry that much. Able to focus on pushing forward. That's the trade to start it off.
Okay.
twltch does well. He's been heating up and holding on to that long position. They still don't know about cracks. This is the missing factor. Out he goes! How has he gotten away with the third? The spin on a dime to take him down, and they were watching that smoke. There was nowhere else to worry about.
I've heard about 180 no-scopes, but 180 full sprays, that's something completely different. He didn't let go of mouse one in that whole move. He's just spraying all the time. That is absolute madness. As I said, we've never seen this man play the Neon before on this stage or any other stage. Come off winning an eco and off that. And that's all you really need to know. A lot of pressure put onto Magnum here. The only real defender. Solid stun. Will be a pick for them, and a rifle for Magnum, who's been their best player so far.
Stuck up close with that fight, though. Able to take one, traded out, but that's more than enough for BBL. Information and a flank underway. The main thing being Cypher's no longer in the game on the side of the attack. Well, on both sides, I suppose, but that's opening up this flank route for Levin. He'll get himself a weapon. In fact, he's picked up the Stinger. Swapping out here would make a sound cue, and he doesn't want to give it away. He's going to continue sneaking his way up. Sheriff in hand, but his teammates are falling. He needs to hasten the pace. Cracks the last man standing. He was phenomenal in the last round, and he'll do the same here. A triple kill to put the round into FUT's backpack. Looking at Cracks playing on a Neon, first time, it sure doesn't look like it.
And another Red Bull clutch to add to the already growing collection. I feel like Zeus got to be sitting there going, I'm going to lose my job. Like, he's got to be getting a little bit nervous because the way that Cracks is playing right now. And again, it's another round where you look at that from BBL, they have the advantages, they get the openers, they're in solid positions, but then, don't get me wrong, the util's still there to support. It's just chaotic. I'm also now seeing Cracks investing into an attack side judge alongside the overdrive. So this man is, he's in a toxic mindset.
Cracks is straight into the fight, grabbing one and almost the second. Levin's up, good enough to trade out, but Zeus is there to pull the advantage back into FUT's court. And now, even a drop out here for Magnum would be a huge risk. Hunter's Fury put through. A tag could get him to spam kill, though it's the drop in fact, and a big mistake is Yedijay was unpressured.
It was meant to be a distraction, meant to be giving him space into the site, but Yedijay was more than aware. And now for Sociable and Prophet, it again becomes an almost impossible retake to win. 4 players hone in, Prophet's done well, but I feel like Zeus has just been the trade machine. Not having to be that first player in anymore, that first contact means he could just focus on wiping out anybody that steps forward, and well, his stat line has been rising round by round. For Sociable, I mentioned the heroic performance last time out. He might get one in this round, but the clock is surely too far gone. Just has to escape and won't even do that.
Turn the tide of this completely into their favor. And a 9th round now, very much possible. Favored, perhaps. And a much more direct approach from FUT that's worked wonders. This site previously had so much utility waiting for them to walk into, but they swapped it to A. Now the retake attempt is what they're left with. Yumpy finds one, the weaker weapons shining bright in this round. Almost as bright as that flash, but it doesn't stop Zeus. He's good for one before falling. Mr. Fallen and Yedijay have to take down the rest, and well, Mr. Fallen's got himself one, but the trades just keep on coming in. BBL finding their form at last, but is it too little, too late? Still Yedijay to deal with, but they'll get that across the line. Didn't seem to change anything. FUT had all the answers. But as we saw, the stats very high for BBL's pistol win rates, and they'll find themselves the opening. This could be the course correction. Get them back into the game, but Zeus and Yedijay, they're back up in here. The brawl won, the spike down, and the smoke from the attackers blocking them out of this site. Zeus waiting for it to fade, and there's the info. They know where the split play is coming from, but the cage has gotten them the spike, and it looks like BBL could be up for a plant. They've split up, though.
Yeah, they've gone Scooby-Doo style, splitting up, looking for clues. And the defense have all grouped up together, just looking to play the advantage. Prophet surely dead to rights, and this leaves Magnum again. No doubt that he has been the player to watch for BBL when it comes to this map. This would have to be the best of them. There is a slight split up. There's maybe an opportunity for him to find Mr. Fallen, but it's all going to be about the timing. And then has to almost hope they don't group up, and that's exactly what happened. Every single member looking to come around the corner. First goes his way, but Yedijay, 4 for the round.
Previously winning that Turkish derby, but it looks like FUT are back to set the record straight.
Yeah. FUT looking to do it when it matters most. That's the main thing. Doing it in the playoff stage. An investment here with the Stingers coming through for this attack side, and it's not started out too badly. We don't see the stinger pie much in EMEA. In fact, it's only really BBL that likes to run them massively. A good position, but it doesn't work out. And now Zeus with everybody now tagged, but unfortunately, he can't find
off the rest and just doubling up with cracks there. He'll have a much quicker rotation. Pressure is on, but they've got the numbers to deal with it on foot.
Waiting in the corner. twltch there to start. This is going to reveal everyone as they go. This is definitely a problem. And while for cracks, it's easy pickings in the end. Even still, though, there's been a response. Zeus sneaking around behind them, though. He was here the whole time. He was waiting for them. It's a little bit whiffy, but eventually gets the job done. And now all that is left is Prophet to try and fight versus two. Isolates one duel, but again, those trades have been... It's completely open. They played off-site knowing that that Rolling Thunder was in play. And sure, it's been utilized, but to no effect. And they're getting ready to go straight back in. Look how close they are.
Yeah, already in. As the plant is going down, backside almost under their control, but Prophet goes for the TP deep, catches one before falling, and Sociable with the double seems to, of course, corrected this back in favor for BBL. But for now, FUT are steadfast in their approach. They're sticking around. Cracks falls, but still a lot to play with from this side. The ult even committed here from Prophet. They really want them to leave the A side, but Tom, it has not worked. The whole body of FUT is still here, waiting for the peaks, and they get all of them. Acknowledge that there's a chance BBL are trying to play off our lower buy, where teams often rotate that little bit faster. Still a buy for BBL. Levin with the opening pick, and it's cracks down in the dirt, but twltch is the man that's been hard to remove from this site. He's put up numbers, and he's got it again. One found, helping out his teammates and grabbing yet another. He'll take the Hunter's Fury head on, but he gets the info for Mr. Fallen to play with, and the spike is down in front of him. It's all up to the IGL now.
Players stand in his way. Magnum, unsociable. A potential map point on their opponent's choice, one that they had a very impressive first half, and what Mr. Fallen has been spotted to be around this area. There's plenty of time.
He knows now.
To play with. More sociable, even just looking to take the fight. Maybe a little bit risky, but that is, well, that's Sociable's game to a T. I feel like they are hitting into where twltch is every single time. Zeus has pushed mid. There's also been the move from Adacaptain that's found him all the way into the window. He's just run straight down and then even has the ability to teleport out of there. The pure disruption from FUT as they get aggressive in mid in the early stages of this round has put BBL firmly on the back foot.
Big recovery needed. Weaker weapons not going to give them that much of an advantage. FUT have the numbers on site. They think they've isolated twltch, and even if they had, that's a big enough challenge to take that man out. Sociable desperately low, and Prophet coming to the rescue, but he's a little too hasty. Runs right into the trap, and now it's left to the low HP Sociable. The rifle in his hand, credits in their back pocket. There's no point really in going for the save, but 1v4 not looking too likely with 40 seconds on the clock.
If he was healthy, maybe he'd have a chance, but just look at where the firing squad of FUT are currently sitting. He thinks he's revealed one, but doesn't know that there's three more waiting on the other side. But for BBL, they're going to go running straight in towards that B side. Mr. Fallen already here. The Jet making his way past, and while Mr. Fallen in the corner, it gets traded out, but Adacaptain goes huge.
I'll tell you what, his mouse is working now. That's a quick double up for Adacaptain. And the round, indeed the map could be theirs as a result. He falls though, and Magnum pipes up here and now when needed most. Another three-piece for Magnum, and they'll have another shot at OT, and there it is! Locked in 12-11. He saved the day again.
I think even the music started playing for a second. It was so close to that round going over the line. The jumping shots being made from twltch, I think realizing I'm going to be revealed any second. I've got to try something. I've got to take a risk here. But I don't know how they turn this back. It's the reverse of that first half. And well, there's no doubt that if you have a tactical pause here, you better use it for doing just that. There'll be some sort of swing, some sort of peek, some sort of hunt for information. And now with the cages being thrown in, it did slightly bait those rotations back. Cracks under pressure, paranoia thrown through, but they still hold the line at the back of the site. The wraparound coming in from behind though. Yumpy, Prophet combining a kill apiece. Adacaptain already here though, but he can't find a single kill. It leaves Mr. Fallen and Zeus
Judge is going to finish Mr. Fallen off. He's a madman with the bookie, but he's going to be mad once that smoke fades. Never mind. He survives the blast of the Judge, and Zeus comes in to help him out with the next. This round is far from over. Magnum still draws breath, the hero that has been there again and again for BBL, and he buys them an overtime. Not all who wander are lost. He has been paving the way for BBL. They get an overtime as a result, and now he'll be point of contact. They've stepped up to the plate, but it's Magnum who's hitting it again and again. He's got himself one. The second, though, proves to be too much. Zeus dealing with him early on, and a new hero needs to be found for BBL.
He's been spotted under serious pressure, but it's only going to be the trade. Profek still here, needs at least one, and that's what's found. But the trades again from FUT are sublime, immediate in their nature. And now the remaining players are so very far away. The Turkish members left on this Turkish organization, Sociable and Levin, looking to try and give BBL the lead.
Trip broken behind. And the response from FUT is to go pushing deep into the spawn. It's Yedajay dropping Levin. Now they've got the information to play with. They were 12 and 10. Multiple match point, or map points, I should say. And now it seems like they'll have another. The plant is perfect. The cam spotting him. And already the defuse halfway, but pressure not really on, with bodies still lurking around the reveal. Still there! Desperately close in the end, but time had already ticked away. FUT
between these two teams means absolutely nothing. Once more we see that aggression from Zeus taking full A control, and the B take being attempted. The paranoia, the stuns are good, but nobody caught. And Captain is still in position. Even still, though, Levin's taken one, but these trades, again, take it back and forth until Yedajay gives that advantage. And now they look to play together.
He's fought them on both sides. Eyes now drawn in other directions, perhaps an opening for Zeus to walk up behind. Players left of no traps to play with. Yumpy and Sociable. Shock darts, recons regenerating. Yumpy's got a flash. It looks like they might get a little bit aggressive. Tap on the spike. Both players split too. But ultimately, they're not looking to take this site just yet. In fact, we may see them wrap all the way around. Right now, it's an information finding game, and FUT are giving nothing away.
Yeah, they're desperately trying to work out where these players are coming from, and FUT have just taken the time to group up into a unit. Take this as 3, and BBL have got nothing of what they wanted. They were hoping to be given a fight, and eventually they find it. But it's now left all onto the leader, Yumpy, in an attempt to try and save them. The man who has brought BBL to the playoffs now has to try and do that little bit more, and he's got a player coming up behind him, and Yedajay will put this one to bed. A map on paper that looked like it was BBL's to lose, and FUT have come in with a nasty surprise.
When we saw this veto, Tom, I was certain we would go all the way to Ascent, but seeing FUT pick up that opening map, now that casts a bit of doubt into the equation, a bit of uncertainty lurking around the corner. Magnum's the one to be challenged. His opening pistol was impressive. He managed to score himself a triple kill, but not this time. 2 barrels on the shorty, only one finds its mark with cracks down. Pressure put onto the B site, put onto Profek, and he's not able to rise to the challenge, but Yumpy is leaving them into a 2 versus 2. Captain tagged, and he goes for the sneaky spot down below. It doesn't work out, because Sociable's here to claim the pistol round. But approaching this one relatively slowly. Considering they've already burned up quite a bit of utility, Zeus doesn't have those initiating flashes, and the backside's being cleared. They see the markings on the floor that this was a fake, and it's worked wonders. The A side is wide open at the moment. The adjustment from BBL will be to push mid, but that's right into the waiting arms of FUT. But Profek, well, he is course correcting, decimated in some of those earlier duels, but now he's dishing out the damage, and it's Captain on the floor. A potential ace for Profek, and he's gonna go hunting it down. No frustration to be seen if he grabs this one.
You unlike this man when he's angry.
Oh, no.
There are some players that almost seem fueled by the frustration. I think the mention of Didier Drogba has been said in football, someone that you play them when they're happy, it's an alright game. You play them when they're mad, and you better watch out. And right now, that seems to be the case for FUT. Profek desperately hunting for where that last player is going to be. That little bit of an extra confidence boost. It's Ultima already online. There is nothing else other than removing that weapon from Yedajay's hands, and he will find the fight. I think he's just spotted the pixel around it, and it will be the ace for Profek. A way to bounce back. As said, it was 3 battles in a row, and he turns and takes every fight versus the squad of FUT.
I tell you what, there's a big smile on his face as he finds that final kill. Every battle he took here, precise, clean, and in these rounds, sometimes you go, yeah, but Tom, they had a few pistols, you know?
My first ace in VCT.
His first ace in VCT. See if he's going to be hitting his shots. Taking him down puts a lot of pressure on Magnum, and it could see the round switch into their favor. And in fact, even just sending him backwards could be enough. Magnum has to step up yet again, and he will find the first. The second player, though, could be his undoing. Will be, but Levin trades him out. Wonderfully done with Mr. Fallen all alone.
Time. That's the main issue. 15 seconds left on this clock for Mr. Fallen to try and achieve anything, and I don't think there's any world in which he manages to win this one. Does at least clear out the first. The second goes this way, but the time is gone.
No time.
All he has to do is hide, and well, thankfully that's exactly what the IGL will do. Definitely not ideal. Doesn't manage to scan anyone. Knows that at least they're partially clear. I don't even know if the stun would help out too much. Zeus still trying to fight tooth and nail, but he will be able to retreat, and then even has the salvos of his own. Dimensional drift used, but even though he's been spotted, it's not going to be easy to clear. And in fact, they did get spotted. How has he managed to do that with nobody noticing? And it's like Zeus must have walked directly past him and seen him, but I guess they just didn't expect that Sociable would show them that level of disrespect, and he's come back in for more. 4 kills for Sociable. Can we get our second ace already? He's going to get the fight, and we will! What is happening with BBL? 2 aces in 6 rounds!
Well, we talked a big game about their defense over on Haven. This is a defense unlike any other that they've shown so far in VCT. 2 aces in 6 rounds. And it starts with a man, a judge in hand. This one at least against pistols for the most part, but it goes to the win. The confidence on display. It's got FUT panicking. They're calling a timeout.
Up middle, spike the last man in, which is a little bit dangerous, but they have managed to get quite far.
Reveal goes a little shallow. Could have found a lot of information on the site, but players still up on Rafters undetected. They try to deal with him, and Yumpy steps up for 2. Profek in with another, leaves Yedajay alone, and Sociable's play through mid lane catches him off guard. Well, it starts here. 8-4 possible for FUT. They need rounds on the board. They need foundations laid thick for the next half. Profek's brought out an Odin to great success. Spamming through the smoke, finding one. The backside A pick as well. As the ult used by Zeus gets them round, and Sociable's picked up a double. That's 3 through the smoke. After that timeout, FUT couldn't possibly account for this. And now Mr. Fallen again, trapped on the bottom of ramp. Sociable kills him in almost the same spot as the previous round. This time, it's a bullet salvo more so than a rocket.
Now the Nightfall used. Desperately trying to get into a Viper's pit. It's been online for so long.
Oh, it might not get an opportunity to be used. They dodged the ult. Magnum slipped into elbow then afterwards, but he's being put to bed. There's the pick. The Viper's on site. That deep pick can come into play right here and right now. There's a gap for Yumpy. I don't think Sociable's quite so lucky. And in fact, yeah, he gets absolutely nothing. The shorty from Yumpy. The shot to the head of Zeus. And double digits at the half for BBL.
They are walking in towards potentially the most dangerous man in Yedajay. Working around that angle. Levin's already going to be there to stop, but they have no idea how much ground they've lost. Just walking straight into such a dangerous spot. Well, it was neither. It was Levin to take home that pistol round. was a third map decider, the longest map in history last time out. And already a death-dealing blow to twltch. He was phenomenal in map number 1, but he has been taken out within the first 10 seconds of this round.
The call from BBL, making some noise on A. Mid has been overtaken, especially with Magnum dropping Mr. Fallen. It pulls this rotation off the B site, which is now wide open for the players that are lurking their way up through. It's going to be a free take without a captain dropping Magnum. Sociable spotted as well, I believe. I'm pretty sure they know that he's here. Paranoia used, but it's dodged nicely, and he's causing problems. He's buying time, but FUT have managed to equalize now in a 3v3 for the retake.
Yumpi's still only with the Spectre, but a full belt of utility to play with. Levin just making sure that he's not falling for the Durkaroos. He will just about manage to cling to life and then takes control of the spawn as well. That's another angle that has to be cleared for FUT. And that time now continues to tick down, already getting towards the spike, but Prophet winning the duel when it matters the most. And now all that remains is Zeus. It will be a 13-2 decimation after a close call on Haven. It's not quite the 2-0. A third map is going to be needed. Really good. Be the smallest of rounds that makes the difference. That's not the start they were looking for. Luckily, Prophet is still here to do the damage. Levin has managed to find one with the distraction, and Yumpy trying to flash back into position. The fact is, though, they are still looking to go in this same direction. But it seems like the play here from BBL is just play the retake. Whoa, Zeus has been caught while trying to cross.
The retake gets that little bit easier now, doubling up on the advantages.
Spike planted.
Cleared out Heaven already with the Prowler, and this is going to be their signal to group up. 4 players coming in together. Utility, not quite gone because you've still got those salvos. Those pesky salvos are causing problems. twltch, not able to tuck in anymore. He's out in the open, isolated, and beautifully played by BBL. It's Profek with the pressure on his back.
Again, not coming. He's now finally made the spot, but this now becomes more of a survival effort. Maybe in the hope that somebody will be able to get there in time. Just created a little pocket of space for himself. This angle is just in case anybody crushes to the side of the site. That's exactly what it's done. Clever stuff from Profik, still surviving in the backlines. He's lasted such a long time. And that means that spike is still yet to go down. 10 seconds as the rest of the players will now start to move their way forward. Nice shot from Mr. Farling, gets rid of Sociable, but Levin's there as well, and he has to try and stick this plant. Against the Teo, it's much more difficult to play that backside, play off those crossfires, because it can be so easily cleared by all of that utility. Information attempted to be found by Profik, but they still have to clear that backline. The dart does well, but more importantly, it gives the space to Anna Captain. twltch there as well, and now all that stands is Magnum, nothing to be had. Over on the defensive side is you need to have more of this aggression, target selection not working out for Profik, and it's already falling apart. Magnum almost hoping for a bit of a miracle spray because they have completely lost control of the site, and even with bullets being spammed through, nothing is found.
There was a moment where it looked like Levin was about to pop off. He was about to have so many opportunities with that operator. But once Yumpy goes down, FUT, they realize there's a weakness. Where Levin is right now. Time is ticking. They found a pick. Ult's going to be committed. They're going for this, even with Levin so far away. twltch's had all the time in the world to wrap around, and he's about to execute Magnum from short. In fact, Mr. Fallen gets ahead of it, and the ult will be lost in the end.
Force them forward. It's going to be that aggressive push from Yumpy. There goes the Armageddon, trying to trap them in the corner, but it's missed just by a millimeter. Sociable has been able to pass, and Magnum checks the one angle that hadn't been cleared. A nice little set piece, leaving Anna Captain alone to try and fight this back. We mentioned those mid-splits with late aggression in towards B. This round has fallen back. Still, though, it's going to be challenged. Consistent use of the nano swarms just to make things more awkward in the battle, and Profik trying to defend, but the paranoia is solid. It leaves both players completely blind, but there's been a counter. Lockdown also utilized by the attack.
Oh, the head spotted, but Mr. Fallen is the one walking away with a double. Profek gets in there just in time to cancel out the lockdown, but they've already gone in the other direction. And Tom, this is something you highlighted, the difficulty that you have when this B site, you know, we see a deep prowler go through, we see them lose control, but now they have to still cross. Flash used for that, but disadvantage, and this is the difference. FUT have either been on level playing field or with a massive advantage by the time that this pump fake came into the B plant. But now, they're a man down. Maybe a riskier play needed, and look at how BBL approached this. 3 players, a conga line moving towards the B site. There will be no untradeable kill offered up.
No command. Was picked up by that plant for Cracks. Doesn't seem like something he wants to utilize though. And a captain's position should have been noted, but Cracks looks for the swing, does a lot of damage onto Levin, but now there's nobody left on the site. They're both looking to pincer him behind a nasty surprise, but then an immediate couple of kills in response. Immediate use of the Nightfall. Is there going to be something to play off of this? That's the second time that we've seen Magnum throw it
short
in.
push.
Well, in from behind them, Zeus is trying to really battle and brawl, create a disruption for the rest of the team to make it out of that smoke. This is such a peculiar round for them, but already Yumpy will be lost. Cracks has only been downed, and Zeus just striking once again. It leaves a 3 versus 5 in an attempt, and while Zeus is not done, he wants a little more.
Spike planted.
Levin's moment to strike. He's found himself one, but down below at the logs is out of captain. He won't make it away. That TP, near or far, he wasn't making it out. A 3 versus 3. Players all on site, stacked up. Salvos will clear out the back. Boathouse wide open, but the players were way ahead of that. A shot, but the wall gets in the way. Yedege still drawing breath. They'll deal with him. And Sociable with the shorty. It's Profek and himself firing the shotguns to lock in.
But at this stage, it is still anyone's game.
Got to look at that first half. A lot of problems for BBL in containing that information. On the defensive side, the push and pull was their downfall. Maybe the Sentinel was a problem for FUT. That won't be an issue. They were able to stack up one side of the map, and Sentinel is here as well. They've got numbers, boots on the ground, and the Spike in the same position. It's down in the open. And this round, it's not looking likely to fall to BBL. This could be FUT's way to equalize early on. But Tom, last time they faced, it was the pistol, it was the follow-up on defense for FUT. And only 3 rounds from that point forward, BBL had a lot of momentum on the attack.
Luckily for both sides, they've had a million rounds to look back on. Can't always take everything at face value. That is a kill that definitely makes things a little bit more interesting, but with a player still towards A main and 2 sat underneath, it's not going to be easy to clear any of these remaining members. 30 seconds to try and find something here, hoping that maybe it gets revealed, but Ada Captain's already going to catch one. It leaves Magnum with an impossible task, his position known, and only 18 seconds to play with. This pistol is going to go the way of FUT. Ada Captain now in the same spot we saw from Profek, and Levin leading the charge.
Levin's the one to find one, but they have to clear out a captain. Done well. Flash in from Zeus. Another to be found. We're level again. A 3 versus 3. The door closed and the plant enabled as a result. They're going to wait now. Oh, not wait for Yedege. I thought he was coming short. I thought they'd group up and play this together. But of course, that flank is going to be wide open. Sometimes you'd worry about a turret, an alarm bot, but it's not in play. Instead, you have to worry about Yumpy. This machine is the one that's giving them the advantage. Now a tough position to fight from if Yedege doesn't get anything and he's been spotted. The element of surprise gone, and they were watching it anyways. Now in a high-low, Yumpy to be cleared from the close corner, but they've managed to win the fight. Here comes the big push. Cracks left alone, and both players facing.
Instead, though, they're walking into his alarm bot. That's at least the information. The Nightfall's going to find nothing. They're definitely wary. And actually, Levin's taking a hell of a lot of damage. There is the pounce. And there is even Timmy the Turret coming up with another. Yedege nowhere near the action, but they do have an advantage nonetheless.
The lockdown only further cements that. Boathouse still
forcing it back.
Look at the flank up, though, from Ada Captain. Everybody going to be going towards the B side itself, taking that gap. This is the opportunity now for FUT, knowing everything else is clear. They've got them boxed in. weaker weapons, no abilities to fall back on here. Yumpy spotted close, the shot not landing, and although Magnum gets one, that is all that BBL can muster.
This angle, but an immediate gate crash out of position. Oh, almost caught. That was a little bit close for Cracks. He will fall back to the side, but YtterJ will take the damage for it. The left side completely sectioned off. He's being hit by every piece of utility, and a second player spam. Zeus is there, cooking up. That's three now. They've just decided the only way is through the walls. Don't let them see you.
That's one way to do it. Great reveal from Magnum to start it out, but from that point forward, a little bit ridiculous. Had a captain left alone. Absolutely, and there's going to be roster changes for other teams. They're going to be working hard.
They've got the right read here, though. FUT have got 3 players on the A site, 1 towards short, leaving YtterJ alone, but he's taken an awful lot of space. That's why they're confident in holding on to these positions. BBL are going to be walking into a stack.
Flash ready for Zeus. The swing on the back of it, but there'll be no flash. Not anymore. That knife hits perfectly. Sociable isolates Cracks. Here comes Zeus, but he's not the hero that they need. Mr. Fallen won't be either. All of the players from FUT have fallen except for YtterJ. 2-round gap, and it looks like it's about to extend. FUT will need 3 in a row as YtterJ sends it to the B site. The save in full effect, and BBL, for the second time this year, they are a round away from winning the Turkish Derby. No roster that BBL fielded before came close, even in our minds, to beating FUT. Doing it twice, well, you can put Look out of the equation.
That last time was incredibly close. This time it is looking just as similar. They are desperately trying to remove this gun from the hands of YtterJ, but I think the rest of the players are going to be too far away to deal that death blow. But it does mean they're going to need him again.
If they fail, they'll have to wait and watch from afar as Masters slip out of their grasp. A quick play from BBL.
Yeah, they're doing the same thing. They split through, but this time they catch Mr. Fallen. They fight towards the spawn instead. Levin is going to go dashing in, trying to isolate Zeus, and that's exactly what he's done. Winning that head-to-head again. 2 already to the good. 3 players stand, 2 of them at the back of the site. The other is out of captain, and he's going to be the one under pressure, trying to fight forward against the full force of this squad. YtterJ has found one, but it might be too little too late. That A site is completely under their control.
Spike planted.
Magnum was left behind on the switch. An attempt to finish this round early. He was taken out, but there's another snake in the grass. Hell, they're everywhere. Sociable drops YtterJ and Cracks now the last man standing. We talk about his KO, but this is too much to ask. BBL, they've claimed Turkey's 82nd province. They've won the Turkish Derby not once, but twice this year. And FUT are sent spiraling out of stage 1 as a result.
The crazy thing as well is this time they did it in regulation and it didn't take the full 50 rounds. They've undone some of the calls, but more importantly for them, they have taken victory when they needed it most.